Today is October 29th, 2021. This is the Harry Thomas Show. The websites are located at harrythomas.info and harrythomasshow.com. I'm your host, Harry Thomas. Well, YouTube, I've tried to put a couple of videos out for you, the listeners over here, but I just keep getting derailed off track and it goes uncensored over at the real Harry Thomas Show at Bitchute.com. So that's what happens. I swear. I intend for it to be clean and to pass the Google censors over here, and then something happens and it doesn't pass this Google censors, and I just have to put it over at Bitchute.com, the real Harry Thomas Show. Of course, you can find everything at harrythomas.info. But yeah, the last couple videos I intended over here were, good. But I got a topic I just want to talk to. No news, because I tell you, the news drives me nuts anyway with these globalists, these New World Order psychopaths that are trying to take over our planet. And that's what I want to talk about, of course, because I always want to talk about that. I want to talk about, how there is no difference between the left and the right. That they're all trying to divide us, to conquer us, to keep us in check. They're the ones that have been ruling the herd, and they look at us as their serfs, and it's their kingdom. And they want the whole world and technology for themselves. They're greedy, greedy, greedy people. And that's another thing. See, sometimes I get, and I go, oh, maybe they're not even people. Maybe they're aliens. Remember I told you I was going to talk about aliens, maybe? Well, let's get into this. I don't buy into the left-right fraud. I don't buy into the civil war that they're trying to drum up in the media, the black and white, the racial hate, and the racial wars that race wars they want to start. The political correctness. I'm not a very political correct person. I don't know what words I'm supposed to use. I just go by what's in my heart. And what's in my heart is I just want to see my fellow man survive and do good by their family and their neighbors and have strong communities to live in all around the world. And I think that's what generally most people want in this world and on this planet. So I don't see nothing wrong with people in general, anywhere, no matter where they come from or where they live or how they're, raised in their beliefs. I think they're entitled to, as long as nobody's harming anybody, then we should be able to jive together on this planet and be fine. But I do believe that we should have our own sovereignty here, and this corruption has got to stop. We can't be ruled anymore by these New World Order minions or the deep state or the Illuminati or the cabal or whatever you want to call these people, these shenanigans. But sometimes, we get start saying, oh, they could be aliens and stuff. I have no idea. I talk about the man behind the curtain, the wizard. And that's who I want to get to. I want to get to the man behind the curtain or the woman behind the curtain or the alien behind the curtain or whatever the hell it is behind the curtain. That evil entity, the dark force, the satanic, Luciferian drug, blood drinking criminals, And I get crazy like that, because I know there's a lot of evil in this world. And I know there's a lot of evil people in this world doing unspeakable acts. But if you ask me if I could prove that Al Gore had a vial of blood at an airport, and that means he might be a shape-shifting reptilian ruling us from another dimension, I can't prove that. I never talked about it like that on the show or anything like that. But most people have heard that story, or the Queen and her eyes were slitty because she didn't drink enough of the adrenaline-filled blood to hold her shape. And I talk about how they're addicted to that adrenaline in the blood like a drug, and that's it. Because when you have all the money and all the wealth, what else are you going to get high upon? All I know, I'll tell you what, all I really know is these people are psychopaths. And all I know is they're clamping down police state uh, death sentences on us, martial law. They're implementing this whole system of control on us and have been for 100 years in the making. And I get so frustrated at times. I was over there, like I said, I was over there at Bitchute shooting off my mouth. Just like a little kid throwing a temper tantrum the other night. Maybe you YouTubers might want to go over there and check it out. The Real Harry Thomas Show, BITCHUTE.com. I don't know what the URL is, but you do a search, you'll find it. But what can we prove? See, and I like talking to different people because I was talking to a fella, and he was talking about, boy, it really turns me off when people get on that, eating the children's blood and eating the kids and the rituals and stuff. And I don't even, I don't think that stuff exists. And people don't think, that turns people off. And it does turn people off when you're trying to wake people up. And that's why I never got into all that stuff any other time before. Maybe I've become jaded now in my now that I'm in my 50s now. I've just become jaded with these people or these things, these alien things. And that's another thing, we were talking like it's a hard pill to swallow, man. I used to talk about it like, with that whole David Icke thing, man. I could never buy it. And I put out a one of my other videos here on this channel, the YouTube channel here. I was talking about Alex Jones and David Icke and how I could never buy the whole shape-shifting thing, but I found it very fascinating anyway. And what I found fascinating is how it does coincide with all the ancient writings and how all of our ancestors told us that the Watchers came from the sky and gave us all this knowledge and technology and helped set up civilization. So, if anything, the Watchers would be the ones who set this whole mind control thing up, maybe. Or were they the gods that they talked about? But, nobody can actually prove all that. That stuff's theory. And that's what I'm saying. There is a difference between conspiracies and conspiracy theory. And when you're sarcastic son of a gun like me, you got to be careful you don't mix the two. Because I can get very, very sarcastic. And you got to be careful because we need to wake as many people up as we can to this international new world order. They're putting in their end game, and they're eugenicists and they're transhumanists and they're very dangerous people, and that we can prove, and that's what we can prove. So let's stick with the people that we can prove that need to be arrested, that they have talked about on Fox News, and seep our way into getting the people that are senators like Rand Paul and Jim Jordan, Congressman Jim Jordan, and who was that? Lauren Boebert was trying to stop some stuff, and and stick with the facts that we know, even though it doesn't really matter because social media, Twitter and Twatter and TikToker and Instascam and Scambook and all that other crap. Even here, I'm always battling with YouTube over here and everything too. They'll just get rid of you. It doesn't matter if you're a president or an entertainer or a congressman, a lawyer, a senator to the boot. You know, they're the corporate masters, so to speak, the money masters, which is a really good documentary that you can find over links to it over at harrythomas.info and harrythomasshow.com. Now, I got the harrythomasshow.com because Harry Thomas Info is coming up on Facebook and other places like Google platforms that are already blacklisted because from what I was running on it from 2005 to 2012. So it got blacklisted during them years. So now that I got it back up and running again with tons of documentaries and information and PDFs and survival guides and news stories and you know how I do. Free information. I believe in free information. So I got it all over there at harrythomas.info, but I also got harrythomasshow.com. Harrythomas.com is like thousands of dollars to buy. But anyway, so I got harrythomasshow.com so that it can get put up on places. It hadn't been blacklisted yet. So, and I got other ones too that I've got these documentaries, but all the links are up over there. You can follow me on social media. You can follow me anywhere, but don't follow me off the bridge like your favorite football team, like you will them. It's the same thing with these politics, these left-right assholes. They go, oh, follow us with this rhetoric. We're the good guys. And the other, well, no, we're the good guys. We'll save you money. Well, we spend more, save money. Spend more, save money. But we're compassionate. Screw compassion. We love our money, and they get brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, community against community, all fighting. For what? For what? They're robbing everybody blind, killing us with all kinds of diseases that they make up themselves with their Frankenscience, their Frankenfoods. Yeah, I mean, not much more can we take of this. We need our freedom of speech back. They're censoring everybody. You got to have your Google goggles, and they'll break after a while anyway. So we were talking about, got to be careful spouting off sometimes, But I'm not taking them videos down. That's how I was feeling. That was my expression. That was my freedom of speech at the time. That was what I wanted to say. That was how I was feeling. That was my anger. That was my fear. That was my venting of the whole frustration of the situation. We got to have our release valves, or otherwise we'll be doing it, going postal or something, But we are not the domestic terrorists that they want you to believe. Your neighbor who likes to collect guns and have his access to guns or her access to guns is not your enemy. Your enemy is the state. Your enemy is the state that's trying to put you and bind you in chains and make you a slave to your corporate masters and your government regulators. Okay, they're supposed to work for you, not control and regulate you. I mean, they got it all backwards here. We're living in a 1984 world, and when you've got the media completely compliant with their masters that own them, the very small amount of New World Order minions that own them, it looks like it's going to be checkmate. Forced inoculations and government regulations and lockdowns and everything else that they're pulling. It's madness. Complete madness. But I wanted to chat with you YouTubers over here, let you know what's going on. There's a lot of uncensored stuff up at harrythomas.info. Get in there over there. Get the word out. 12160.info. There's a bunch of characters over there. There's a bunch of characters over at bitchute.com. let me tell you, man, there is, and I wouldn't have known this if I didn't have a show, the Real Harry Thomas Show over at Bitchute.com. I wouldn't know that there is an interplanetary, interdimensional space station that isn't ours. I don't even know what it is. Interdimensional, interplanetary, and everything. Space station very close to the Earth's sun. I don't know what they're doing up there. Man, I got to get with this cat again, man, and talk to him. But it's fascinating to me. And that's what I'm saying. Keep your mind open, keep your eyes open, know your enemy, study this New World Order thing. You know, be careful when you're going around saying you think you know something when you might not. Can't prove it. You know, it is important to stick with what you can prove. And we could prove 9/11 was an inside job. And we could prove that there is a new world order, cabal, Illuminati people, blah, blah, whatever, trying to, are in control of the world. Forget about trying to take control. They are in control of the world that we do need to take back. And we do live in a republic, not a democracy here in the United States. And our Constitution is under attack, and our rights are under attack, and there is corruption. So there are conspiracies. There are people who are conspiring, nefarious acts, unspeakable things that are committing treason and crimes against humanity that we do need to stop. And we do need to be held accountable and punished for their crimes. But, you know, I got carried away the other night with the uncensored thing, and that was in rare form. Now, I've had a couple friends, maybe I should, take them down. No, I'm not going to censor myself. No, what I said, I meant. And and you know, I don't care who I said it about. Noam Chomsky, Kathy Hochul, and all the other usual suspects. Anthony Fauci and Bill Gates and Joe Biden and all the cast of characters that I like to talk, you know, and criticize about. So it is what it is. Okay, we got to be out here protecting our families and ourselves from this total madness because nobody else is going to do it. John Durham isn't going to do it. Superman's not going to come and save you. You can't flash some damn light up in the sky and Batman's going to come. Commissioner Gordon doesn't have some little secret phone that he's going to call and have the International Federation come save us all and save the planet. No, that's up to us. Grateful Dead did say we are on our own. Okay, we are the eyes of the world. And when we get together, we're an unrelentless force, America. We are the last population that they haven't stripped away from our right to assemble and bear arms and sit and talk about that we do have that right. Maybe we should start exercising at least the first two amendments of our Constitution that our founding fathers put first and second because they are that important to fight back against tyranny because together we will make a difference. I want to thank you for listening, YouTube.